on YouTube as well, real quick, so that people can see you on with my live stream on YouTube.
Cool.
Good to see you again, bro. Happy you're here. So,
man, I'll tell you what, I have. You're good. I've just been saying, I have been sick of. Oh yeah, sorry, I've been sick of seeing so many bears on TikTok, on YouTube, on crypto Twitter. It's been toxic. We got the creator of MarketCipher, Crypto Face, saying 64 Bitcoin is an all-time top. I can't even believe the bearish things that I'm hearing right now. I love my brother, Crypto Weatherman, loved him, but man, he flipped bearish on me real hard. And like I said, he's trying to look at all the macroeconomic things. And like I said, all respect to Crypto Weatherman, and I think actually BitBoy shouted him out yesterday in a kind of in a negative way, but just was kind of saying that with the stock to flow. That's a couple of things I wanted to talk to you about as well. I wanted to talk stock to flow. I think you and I both put out a video almost at the same time. I think I retweeted your stuff yesterday because I'm like, I just was thinking about this video too, about how the stock to flow model, how a longer cycle, and how a longer cycle could be in the cards. And how the founder, Plan B, said the long cycle and the stock to flow model can't live simultaneously, but I really think it can. And that was kind of a video I put out yesterday, so I wanted to get your insight on that too, because I know you did comment on that video. So, but yeah, like I said, how are you doing? How are you feeling right now, by the way?
I mean, yeah, lots to talk about with what you just said. I'm feeling fine. I'm not as long as Bitcoin is under $42,000, I am not celebrating anything. Nope. So great. It's at $36,000. Between 30,000 and 42, 43, yep. It's just, we've been here for 40 days. I expect it to continue for another, 20, 30 days, maybe throughout all of July. Mm-hmm. Maybe we'll break through that 200-day moving average in July or August. That's my expectation. But what you just said about stock to flow, it's like Plan B on Twitter. He's been very rigid about how all of this stuff has to happen in 2021, and it's like I consider him a valuable resource. And so I don't want him to just throw in the towel if he's wrong. I think the number that he said for Bitcoin that it needs to reach this year for stock to flow being validated is something like $130,000, $140,000. And I don't think so. I don't think that's going to happen. I hope it does, but I think all that stuff is going to happen in 2022.
Correct.
So does that mean that, yeah. So does that mean that we need to completely throw out the stock to flow model, or can he rework it and retool it and, be more helpful because I do think it's a very accurate thing over the long haul, barring any stock market corrections, crashes, any major economic things that could happen. I like using that as a resource. So anyway.
Absolutely. I'm actually going to pull it up for everybody right now. I'm going to flip my screen. I got my little TV deal here. Hold on. I'll show everybody exactly what we are talking about. Let's see if I can flip this for everybody here. So as you guys can see right here, this is the stock to flow model that Alex and I are talking about here. And as you can see, that little orange dot is where we're at right now. And that is quote unquote far off pace. And a lot of people have been comparing this to the 2012. And I want you guys to see something really cool. I just put a video out yesterday on YouTube. Look how eerily similar that is. You see the blue and you see the red. You see the red. It crosses, looking like it's going to absolutely destroy that number of about $600 there. And you get this orange. You have this orange little cluster here, and you can see that dip, that darkish orange, right? Let's see if I can go any closer, but yeah, darkish orange right there. And it's right at about $100, and everybody's like, there's no chance we're going to see anything. Then you see the gap between that light yellow and that the light orange and the light yellow. That is a massive gap between $300 and $1,000. And that happened in a really short time. And as you guys can see, if we go back, that is the exact thing we're seeing right here. It is, like I said, how eerily similar is that? Blue, red, orange, yellow. And you see that here, the blue, you see the blue, the red, the orange, and the yellow should be a massive, massive move to the upside. And just as Alex was, World War Bitcoin was talking about, I don't know if you want me to use your name or your, either way, but
Alex is fine.
Alex is fine. Cool. Just as Alex and I were talking about here, it doesn't have to happen here in 2021. It doesn't have to. This stock to flow model has 4 years of time. And like I said, it doesn't have to follow the exact models in the exact cycles that it has followed before. Now, I actually made a video too about that, and I'm going to go back to me quick. But I made a video about that too. It doesn't have to exactly follow it to a T. This could happen in 2022. This could happen in 2023 or even in 2024. Because I think that line is at about 300K. I think that line's about 300K. So at some point between 2023, 2024, we could see Bitcoin hitting that 300K, but it doesn't have to follow it exactly. There's a larger gap of time that this can happen. And one of the reasons I think that we might be starting this weird long super cycle with a bunch of mini cycles inside of it is because these halvings, these Bitcoin halvings, which is what the whole stock to flow model is about, which, with crypto weatherman and Brian Ross, some of these guys talking about the stock to flow being invalid, it's not trying to predict these major global crises. That's not what it's for. The stock to flow model is simply the scarcity of Bitcoin and the Bitcoin halving. So it's going to show those blue spots. It's going to show those yellow spots with the high and lows. But overall, if you were to go ahead and average a lot of these lines out here, if you're going ahead to average a lot of these lines out, as you can see even from far away, it just looks like a trend line moving up and to the right just because of the scarcity of Bitcoin. So as you can see, there's times above the line, there's times below the line, but an average in a conglomerate cumulative average, that's the trend that Bitcoin's following. And it does factor in some minor crisis like the pandemic, it's been a year and 3-4 months. It does count that. It does take that into effect. It's just not it's not a model to predict crisis. It's a model to show a trend over a 4-year period with the Bitcoin halving cycles involved. So that was kind of a lot. I kind of threw up on you there.
Oh no, it's good stuff. So I don't know if he's actually come out with 2 different models. One is the stock to flow, which puts the average over the next 4 years at 100,000, and then the one you just showed is the S2FX,
oh, yes.
His second model, which
yes.
Puts that average at $288,000. And so even there's some debate as to which one is the one, the right one. I am more of a stock to flow guy than a stock to flow S2FX guy, in the sense that, I could see us overshooting that $100,000 average over the next 4 years at some point, and then shooting down below it at other points. Yep. Bear market 2023, 2024 low, maybe not 2024, but the low being, $50,000, maybe even $30,000. So, between those two, I do believe more in the stock to flow than the one. It would be great, but if it was $288,000 in 2023, but really, what that would do, again, is like it would probably overshoot that if that was the more accurate one, and go up to more like $400,000, maybe even $450,000. I just don't think that's in the cards for 2023. And, he's saying that that's a possibility. And so I am more of an S2F, again, $100,000 kind of guy.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, but everything you said about 2013, 2013, I've been saying that since February, that what happened, and somebody who I follow, I don't know if you follow him, Benjamin Cohen, on YouTube. All right. So, we got too far, we got too aggressive early this year with the price of Bitcoin shooting up to where it did. It was diverting itself from several indicators like the 200-day moving average, the 21 weekly EMA, all sorts of stuff. We were just too far gone, too far ahead of that. And so we had to go back down to those levels. But we had to, when we go back down to those levels, it's like the amount of fear that enters the market. It doesn't just that we go back down, it's that we overcorrect and we go way further down, and people are asking these questions like, are we in a bear market? Well, yeah, I mean, I would say according to my definition of a bear market, it's like, yeah, we're under all those averages right now. We are in a bear market. And I've been very strongly differentiating between the two, a bear market, not the bear market, which I think will come later on, in the, a year from now, 2 years from now, something like that. So,
so more of a bear trend, as to say, like maybe like a mini market, or as opposed to like the crypto winter of, say, like a 2018. You're saying, yeah. I still, like I said, I might be the most raging bull on this whole app. So
okay.
I still feel like this correction, like I said, it was needed, and we did get stretched way over those moving averages. We got way extended from those moving averages, and I think a correction was definitely needed. I do really think a correction was definitely needed. However, as I've been watching too as well, I've been trying to juggle several things here. This right here is the Wyckoff accumulation phase right here, and I have that. And right now in this phase C, it is looking very, very similar as well. We went ahead and saw this spring right here. This spring was that 28.7 we just saw. A move to the upside to 34. We came back down and tested the original support right around 31. We're now up here at about this 36, 36.5. I think if we're going to continue to follow this, we'd go ahead and back here and test 33. And that would be over a period of another few days to a week. And then we would go ahead and start to see this recovery over here in phase D. And this would be the bull run moving again in phase E. But like I said, there's a lot that has to go on before we get to that point. There also is several resistances that we have to get through, and we have to flip those, because as you guys can see up here towards the top, this would be in that mid 40s to 40K here. We would have to flip this into support, and as you can see here a couple times, we're gonna go ahead and flirt, and everybody, all these bears, in my opinion, are gonna think that this is over again, and we're gonna go back down. But I think that's where the fake out comes to the upside, and we go ahead and continue this for phase 2. So like I said, there are a few things for me. Stock to flow still looks okay. It still has a chance. The Wyckoff, which people have been following for a while, which we've been tracking in over the course of these last 45 days. This accumulation phase is also looking valid. But I think that a lot of the technical analysis right now is analyzing some manipulated data. I really do. And that's why I'm not as bearish as I should be, because obviously with all the technicals, this is a bear market. If you want to take all the technicals, easily, this is a bear market. And I think that's the easy choice, in my opinion. All the technicals say it, but there are hints of news and hints of charts and hints of bullishness still that could add up to us being, still being in a bull market. And people can say that I'm holding on to those. But until I see all of the things, everything that's needed to have a bull market, where news is bearish and those kind of things, because a market is fundamentals and it's technicals at the same time. The fundamentals aren't necessarily bearish yet. The technicals are. But once we see both of those things bearish, that's what I'm going to deem and put my stamp on it, that it's a bear market. But I still think there's some life left. How are you feeling about that?
That's a great way to put it. I never considered that. Yeah, the technicals, and that's where I would entirely say, hey, we are in a bear market, is just looking at the technicals. It's obvious that all those moving averages that we are under, that would define it as a bear market. We just have the death cross, all that stuff, which I'm not. Whatever. I'm not. Oh my goodness, my kids are screaming like crazy. Okay. I am not. I'm not scared of the death cross that it happened. You look at the last death cross that happened. I think it was in early 2020. Nothing happened after that. Nothing crazy to the downside happened after the death cross. In fact, we saw it go much higher. But fundamentals, yeah. Like the TikTok, the video I made this morning, I talked about just like look at what long-term holders are doing right now. They are accumulating at rapid rates. There was something else that I posted on my Twitter account I shared, and oh man, I'm totally blanking on it. There are several fundamentals, the way that people are behaving, the way that the whales are behaving, and the long-term holders that are so different than after the peak and crash in 2017, late 2017, early 2018. I mean, the illiquid supply change. We had a period of a dump in May, and that the FUD didn't help with that, but now it's back. People are accumulating. People are taking their crypto off of exchanges. They are. It doesn't seem like the short-term sellers are selling. Or at least they were last week. I mean, there was a lot of capitulation last week as it got to 28K, but the long-term holders have added something like 740,000 Bitcoin to their portfolios in the last month. And so we are running out of short-term holders as far as the amount of Bitcoin that they're holding. And we are, and the long-term holders are gaining traction even more so than before. So yeah, I'm totally with you. The fundamentals are solid right now.
Absolutely. And with the adoption as well, the network is still continuing to grow. I think some of those short-term traders that are out, fine. They can sit out. I think they'll come back as we see Bitcoin recover. I don't see 64K being the top all-time top. That's just my opinion. I don't think 64K is the all-time top, not even close. I still feel that, yeah. Will you elaborate on that a little bit too? You went off on that comment, and I wasn't expecting anybody to be that blunt, but boy, you let them have it there.
Yeah, it's just, this is a pet peeve of mine, man. It's like the bulls are the ones who put themselves at risk. We are the ones who are putting ourselves on the line. Because if we're wrong, it's like people will hate us forever. They'll never trust us again. They'll never listen to another word that we would say. We will alienate people forever. But this tool, he's a tool. It's like, what's the deal with him, like, interviewing in his own room, wearing a mask? Yeah, exactly. And wearing sunglasses and never looking at the camera, looking off into the distance. He's a tool. And he's here saying that Bitcoin has peaked all time at $64,900. When he is proven wrong, nobody's going to remember that. They're going to be happy. So there's going to be, people when they're happy are much more forgiving than when they're upset and when they're sad and when they've lost all their money. When they're rolling in the dough, it's like, oh, MarketCipher guy with the mask looking off into the distance, wearing sunglasses indoors. I forgive you. It's all good. But but with us, if we're wrong, it's over. Yeah. What's his name? Somebody on YouTube asked me who I'm talking about. Do you remember his name?
CryptoFace.
Oh yeah. All right. So he probably doesn't use his real name.
No, he
doesn't.
It's CryptoFace. He wore a mask. He
interviewed.
Yeah, he wore a mask before the pandemic. He's been doing this. He's been that way his whole time. He doesn't want anybody to know who he is. He doesn't want anybody to see his face. He doesn't want to be seen on the street. He wants to be, behind the scenes, behind the curtains, just making big trades, trying to make, a lot of money. But yeah, he does not want to be known. He was wearing a mask before it was pandemic season or before it was cool. By the way, Crypto Drewski says, I don't think anybody claiming that was the top should be even acknowledged. Complete ignorance. So, yeah. But yeah, with that, I just don't see 64K being the top. Absolutely not. And we, like I said, bulls do put their credibility on the line. And like I said, it takes a lot more effort and consistency, and it just takes a lot more risk to be a bull, especially in these situations. And I still see, like I said, hints and hopes of this bull run being there. Like I said, I don't think the institutional adoption has been publicized as much as it could be. And I think that's why there's a ceiling for well over 100K, because, Walmart hasn't shown it on their balance sheets yet, or Facebook yet, or a lot of these big institutions. It still hasn't been widely adopted by the institutions yet. I mean, like I said, our boy Elon didn't help that out very much. But I think as we start to get the hash rate, more into the United States, Texas opening their arms to all those Chinese miners that want them to come on over, I think there's a foundation being built right now. And I think like for example, Paraguay and El Salvador, they're starting to knock on the door of regulation and how we're going to handle this. Those are still really, really bullish acts. And I think one of the most bullish things that people don't realize is I think El Salvador will adopt Bitcoin, sure, but I actually don't think the citizens of El Salvador will actually spend much of their Bitcoin. I think in time they're going to realize we can spend this paper money or we can spend this Bitcoin. I think they're going to realize as well that Bitcoin isn't the best peer-to-peer transactional money cryptocurrency. I do think it's going to solidify itself even more as a store of value after a few of these Latin American countries adopt it, because I think people are going to realize this is a net worth tool. This is an asset class. This isn't a currency. This isn't a peer-to-peer currency. No worries. But I think we're going to go ahead and solidify Bitcoin in the next year or two as a pure store of value. And a lot of people have been hitting my comments saying Bitcoin's old. It's old technology, and it's not going to be the peer-to-peer money of the world. I'm not saying it is, and I don't think it will be. But what I am saying is that I think Bitcoin's always going to have a place, or almost always going to have a place in the cryptocurrency realm as that store of value. It doesn't have to be peer-to-peer. That's why I think Bitcoin Cash is trash, because I don't see Bitcoin as being that peer-to-peer. So that's kind of where I stand with that. How are you feeling about some of the wide adoption in the Latin American countries?
All right, so totally with you on that. Like people I talk to who are new to this saying that it's gonna, I can't picture Bitcoin being used as a currency. And it's like, I don't either. I do see it as a superior version of gold, which people hold on to. They don't spend it. They spend their dollars. As they should. So, the Latin American countries, that's great that they're using it, that they're adopting it. And it's more so, look at what's happened in Venezuela. I watched this video where their bolivars, it's like the people people with jobs in Venezuela are earning something like $6 a month. I don't even know why they're worried. They're working the equivalent of $6 a month because their currency has lost a ton of value. And what if instead of, over these years, like go back 10 years, what if instead of using their currency or trying to build wealth using their currency, they immediately put that into something like Bitcoin? And so if their currency crashed, which is much more of a threat than in the United States, then they at least have that fallback option of they have the security. And that's how I look at it, is like, all right, if stuff starts hitting the fan, at least I have this thing to fall back on. So, I don't know. It's great that they're all going to get $30 worth of Bitcoin. I do hope that they don't sell, that they don't use it, even though it'll be an option to use it, but that they just hold on to it. Because that is a huge thing with me with cryptocurrency in general, is that, in the United States, at least, you're in the United States, right?
Yep, absolutely. Minnesota.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Oh, that's right. We talked about that. In the United States, at least, like we don't have these same concerns. We don't have to worry about access to banking. We don't. In a lot of these third world countries, like the idea that they could even get a bank account is entirely foreign to them. We don't have to worry about our currency losing 50% of its value in a year. And some people are going to argue that, well, we will have to worry about that. I actually disagree. I've been in this space for a long time. And I in 2010, I was like, hey, hyperinflation's coming. And then, you know what? It never came. But that is a reality that a lot of these people have to live with in these countries. And so to have that option for Bitcoin, or if there's something that replaces it as a superior form of as a store of value, something else, then great. I don't think so. I think Bitcoin will always be the number one store of value. Great. I mean, at least they have that option when their currency is crumbling and their purchasing power dies overnight. So
absolutely.
Yeah.
Now, what about now? It's been a hot topic over the past week on TikTok too. How do you feel about XRP? And speaking of banking the unbanked, how do you feel about XRP and everything that's going on with them right now?
So is there something else that's going on with them other than just the SEC suit, or what are you asking?
Yeah, that with the SEC, with the SEC suit, as well as Ripple going public. I think Ripple's planning to go public when they can. Between that news, do you think with Ripple going public, do you think they're going to continue to push XRP even harder, or do you think maybe Ripple could take a different avenue, especially being a publicly traded company, that maybe they don't need XRP?
All right. So I haven't looked into Ripple going public. There are some things that I've been paying attention to with, like, all right, are banks is there going to be some kind of mass adoption with XRP? And I mean, I think to an extent, sure, like some random banks are going to use it. But like, all right, we have JP Morgan Chase potentially coming up with their own cryptocurrency. So, I mean, are they going to use XRP? I highly doubt it. And I could see something similar happening with a lot of other banks where they're just, all right, well, here's an option for XRP, but no, I'm not going to use it. I'm going to use my own thing. And so as far as Ripple going public, I don't know what that means. I haven't really at all really looked into what that would mean for the future of XRP as a currency. But I mean, what do you think?
Yeah. So with XRP, I'm kind of I don't love it, I don't hate it, I just trade it kind of guy. Like I said, I think the SEC lawsuit, as hopefully for what it's worth, I'm not a huge fan of XRP, and I think my peeps know that I'm not a huge fan of XRP. Hopefully I don't get my account banned like Lucas temporarily, like a blockchain boy, because those boys will come after you. So easy. I'm not trying to start anything here, but I think XRP is less useful than Ripple. We'll say that. I think Ripple could be fine without XRP, and obviously XRP is not going to be fine without Ripple. So I think Ripple has the option. The other thing is a lot of people have been asking too, would you hold XRP in the bear market? Absolutely not. I would not hold XRP in a bear market. And the reason is that Ripple dumps XRP on its holders to stay profitable during bear markets. That's exactly what they do. And especially if they go public and they still, are trying to get Ripple up and going, I think that's even more of a reason for them to dump in order to stay profitable for their shareholders. So XRP kind of gets the no from me, at least right now. Also being, they say it's not centralized. With as much as they have in escrow, it's still centralized. You're not going to tell me otherwise. I know the XRP people are going to get like I said, get on me. They're already started in the chat, but I don't even care. It is centralized. So don't tell me it's not. Without as much money as they have in escrow, Jeb is still dumping his XRP bags on XRP holders. I think he can do that until he'll be done by like early 2022, something like that. But that's exactly, like I said, I'm staying away from XRP other than the little bag that I'm holding right now in waiting for this SEC lawsuit, to be done. So that's where I'm at with XRP. But like I said, it's kind of been the hot topic on TikTok because people have been getting banned over it, and there's been a bunch of lives on it. So like I said, I thought I'd get your thoughts on XRP.
So, I mean, as you're talking, I'm thinking like XRP lost 99% of its value from the peak in 2018 to the bear market bottom. And so I'm comparing that with something like Cardano or Ethereum. Cardano also lost a very high percent. I think it was 97% of its value from the peak to the bear market bottom. Ethereum lost 93% of its value from the peak to the bear market bottom. But the difference this time around, why I would rather hold Cardano or Ethereum, is how much of it is being locked up in
Correct.
staking over the coming years, so that they're not going to even be able to sell. I mean, I don't know what the holding period for Cardano is, but for Ethereum, I know, they're not even going to have that option to sell. What's preventing XRP this time around from acting any different than it acted in 2018? There's nothing. There's no staking. I mean, as far as I know, there's no holding on to it that really there's no forced holding on to it. So yeah, no, not. I have XRP. I have a decent amount of XRP. I am looking to sell all of it at some point. So,
absolutely. And I think, to your point, that is a very good point as well. You see all of these other projects getting the ability to grow and evolve. Ethereum, now EIP 1559 coming out shortly. That's going to be absolutely massive for Ethereum. I don't think people realize that supply shock that's going to happen until they take a look at, I think it's called like Watch Me Burn or WatchETHBurn.com or whatever. You can see ETH being burned on the blockchain in real time. And that's going to be a huge move. But the other thing is ETH 2.0 coming eventually as well. That's exactly what Alex is talking about, where everything's locked up right now. Cardano has like 71% of Cardano total supply out right now, locked up as well. So those projects are going to be really stable. But the other thing is the technology continues to evolve. Ethereum's evolving. Cardano getting smart contracts coming through. How has XRP evolved since 2018? What has it done? It hasn't had a chance to, because it's been locked up with this SEC lawsuit for this amount of time. It hasn't had the chance that all these other projects have had. And that's why I think in the bear market, it's going to suffer a lot like it did as compared to those other projects that you mentioned. So layer one solutions, how are you feeling about some of the layer one solutions? There are a lot of solid layer one solutions, and I just don't think all of them can survive. Those being Ethereum, Cardano, Polkadot, Solana, EGLD, I guess HBAR, BNB, like all of these that want to be layer ones. There's a lot of solid layer ones in my opinion. How do you feel about some of these layer ones going into the bear market? Do you think they all have a chance to survive, or are there any that you're more bullish on in particular than another one?
Oh, that's a difficult question.
Yes.
Man, I think they can survive a bear market.
Yep.
All of them. And so, oh man. Yeah, I mean, that would be my guess. I don't know what you think. I mean, I think for the next, I think they'll all exist 4 years from now. We'll see about 8 years from now. Mm-hmm. I think it's going to get pretty sticky. I mean, there's so many competitors, so-called ETH killers, and a lot of them offer compelling, in certain ways, compelling things that maybe ETH doesn't offer. I'm thinking about Solana with their transactions per minute and things like that. So I don't know. It's still so early that none of them are on my radar as potentially that they're going to die.
No.
In the next few years. But I'd be curious to hear your thoughts.
Sure. With the network effect that Ethereum has right now, you can't count it out. You definitely can't count it out. What you eating, by the way?
Rice.
Oh, good. Okay. Right on. Sorry. I love it. Hey, you got to get it. You got to get it in when you get it in. But I think the network effect of Ethereum is going to keep it relevant during the bear market, especially with the upgrades that are coming. At least they have something to look forward to. I think Cardano is obviously, like I said, I'm a pretty big Cardano bull as well. I think obviously it's vaporware at this point. It doesn't really do much. But as smart contracts start to come to Cardano, I think there's a massive opportunity for that ecosystem to grow exponentially. Kind of like Ethereum had that opportunity. You have so many dApps and all of that are built on Ethereum, the Matics. I think you have those opportunities still on Cardano. I think Polkadot is a little bit more matured. I don't like it quite as much as the opportunity as much as I do like Cardano. I think Solana actually is building, they're building absolutely massive. I like their new launch pad that's coming out, Solana's launch pad. could be very big. However, you have to be a Solana whale to be involved in the launch pad for Solana, which could be good. EGLD's technology, I think they'll have a chance to be around as well. I think it's just going to be a competition for the network. And if you want my opinion, I think Ethereum is still going to be that project that has that network. A lot of people actually, I don't know if we talked about this. I think we talked about this on another live even, but a lot of people are comparing Ethereum right now to Yahoo, early Yahoo, where they were the answer. Kind of an interesting analogy, yeah. But they were Yahoo, and they right now seem like they're the 100. They could be the 100% answer, but somewhere along the lines, in the Cardanos, the Polkadot Solanas, the EGLDs, they could have the technology and the user face and the XI and the UI and all of that. Right now, they just don't have that network effect yet. But as that competition starts to sneak up, that's kind of how I feel about Cardano, in my opinion, that they're building something great. They just haven't had the chance to have that network effect quite yet. And as that network effect starts to grow in, the technology piece of Ethereum might be its shortcoming, or its ability to scale might be its shortcoming, where Cardano might be more scalable. It just needs that network effect to grow. And it just might need one more bear market to do that. So that's what I'm looking at. I'm thinking it's kind of an ETH Cardano with Polkadot, Solana, and EGLD kind of in that tied for third, if those two don't work out. But I think it's the Ethereum versus Cardano show, at least for layer ones.
All right. Yeah. I'm guessing that I haven't looked into as far as I've just always thought that Ethereum, that it was going to, just based on how much share they have right now, that it was going to be difficult for anyone to overcome Ethereum, despite any potential problems in the future. But yeah, I don't know. So it was really good hearing your thoughts. Yeah,
absolutely.
So, yeah.
Awesome.
Well, anything else? I'm just, don't really have much else to throw out there. So if there's
no worries. Yeah. Like I said, I think my final thoughts just being, it's easy to be a bear. I'm still a bull. So if you guys like that bullish content, make sure you guys go ahead and come and follow here as well. I'm going to probably put this on. Are you putting this on YouTube, or is it on YouTube right now?
Yeah, I'm live on YouTube right now. But go for it, because, I was just answering random questions before you hopped on live. And, if you could just single out our part, then absolutely go for it. Put it on your YouTube channel.
I will do that as well. So like I said, overall, guys, yep. I'm still bullish. I'm still bullish right now. But like I said, there isn't confirmation to the upside or the downside. We haven't broke 30 on a daily. We haven't broke 41, 42 on a daily. So we're still moving sideways. We're in a crowd market. Things are looking better. But like I said, I think we're going to be moving to the upside here. I think mid to late July. That's just my opinion. So, but Alex, thanks as always for having me on, brother. Thanks for having me on as always, man. I always appreciate your thoughts. Like I said, I think we're a couple bulls. We're the last couple bulls left. So I think if we go ahead and move further on in this bull run, I think we should be the ones. We should be the ones that take the credit, because everybody else is kind of selling out.
Totally agree with you, man. I have a list in my mind of people that, like, if they're wrong, I'm never paying attention to them again. I don't care. But Crypto Weatherman is not one of those people.
Yes.
I love Crypto Weatherman.
That's my guy.
So yeah, for sure.
Who could have predicted this?
I like Pablo. He's entertaining, and he always throws out some weird, not weird, but like something that I've never thought of before. And so I'll keep paying attention to him too. But anyway, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So, okay, well, take care, Alex. Thanks for having me on, brother.
Yeah, thank you.
Take care.
All right.
All right, guys, take care. I got to go. That was crypto. That was World War Crypto. Thank you guys so much here for joining me. Take care. Bye.